So yeah, driving instructors. You either get one of, if not the best one, on your first attempt, or you have to in fact cancel your driving instructor and proceed to get bounced around through multiple other driving instructors until you find your perfect one who basically suited in your learning needs, which is in fact my case. Yeah, I did not get bounced around. I was pretty much in fact immediately kicked off by the second fucking week, which is actually absolutely great, right? Because basically, right, when I started to when I ended, right, was in fact the worst couple of days I had in my fucking life. Because basically, right, it started on October 17th, where it was not only when it was my 17th birthday, but it was also when I started, in fact, start my, what is it? Driving practice times, whatever the fuck you call it. And it was basically, right, it wasn't really that good. I'll say that it's mid, where it basically it introduced me to the car itself. Introduced me to where everything is, how to basically exit out of a car in a really safe fashion, which is absolutely bullshit, by the way, right? Because honestly to God, she acts as if I'm fucking blind and not even able to drive. Well, it's actually quite stupid, to be honest, because I literally told her, right, I've already checked, because my dumbass literally looked at the mirror. I already saw that there was nobody behind me. And this was in fact the same fucking case, right? When I kid you not, right? This was the same fucking case when I started to drive off. Literally on the first day, right? She told me, oh right, look out and look at the mirrors. Which I was fucking doing, by the way, because if you never knew, right, eyes move. I do not need to turn my head and get your confirmation and green light just so that I can in fact start driving. This is absolutely bullshit. Like, honestly to God, right, if I could look at the mirror without turning my head, right, that'll be more of a convenience to myself, because not only if I'll be looking at the front of the car, but also be looking at the mirror, which will be facing in the correct manner. Well, on top of this, right, she was in fact judging the position of my seat, saying, right, it's too far back and I need to move it up a little bit more forward, and that I just need to do something with my steering, which, understandable. The steering was kind of fucked and the seating was also kind of fucked, so there was that. But either way, though, she was mostly complaining about the fucking mirrors and that I'm not using the fucking mirrors. Like, shove the mirrors up your fucking ass and use them when you're fucking gonna turn your car, huh? Like, shake your ass out the car and use that fucking mirror in order to turn. Because honestly to God, right, you and that mirror has pretty much have gotten married at this point. Because you probably love that mirror more than you probably much love anything in the fucking world, which is absolutely fucking insane. But after her absolute ramble about fucking using the mirrors, when despite the fact, right, I was clearly fucking using them. And she was about, right, she told me to brake, right, which was kind of shitty, and she also told me just to pull up, which basically, right, pulling up is probably one of, if not the most dog shit things to ever do. Because not only if you don't even know where your tire is, but you also generally don't know how close your fucking car is to the curb, and that you're gonna hitch the curb. And like, I'd rather hitch the curb because I know for a fact, right, I'm on the curb. Like, I know for a fact, right, I'm going too close to the curb and now I'm on it. Like, a simple mistake, but I could just simply use that in order to simply guide myself slowly off the curb until I get close enough. Pretty much quite fucking simple. But no, instead of, like, if I hit the curb, right, I'll fuck up the suspension, fuck the tire up, most importantly, fuck up the engine, which will lead to an explosion and the death of both of us. Yeah, she was that overreactive to the point, right, that the slightest amount of mistake, right, will literally get her to go absolutely blistering mad. If I can in fact make someone rage bait that fucking hard while driving, like, honestly to God, right, you should not be a driving instructor to begin with, because she was not only an absolute dick, but also like she wasn't really good at driving. And on top of this, why she cut it early because apparently like my driving was absolute dog shit. So on top of this, I need to improve. But by the second week, right, which was my last week, because honestly to God, right, like, yeah, sure, like, I could have carried on with her, but like, to be honest though, that was when I didn't know any other driving instructor. Like, my mother found like the driving instructor via a recommendation of her driving instructor, because she passed like around 2020, and was it that and that I was gonna learn a manual, and that basically her driving instructor was gonna teach manual also, but then you got like fuck it and just went over to the automatic side, which he basically gave a recommendation of another driving instructor, which I'm basically talking about today. But this next week one, right, it will, oh my god, it was absolutely horrific because basically right, it started off with me going forwards, which was good, going reversing backwards, which was also good, but this is where it gets to the good part. The fucking driving. Oh my god, I never knew how fucking mad I could get someone by simply driving. I was not only steering correctly and normally, but I was also getting using her recommendation of steering, which was a praise and which was really an improvement from my fucking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Spinjitzu fucking handling of the fucking car. But anyways, yeah, basically she was getting mad about it to the point where she literally got like when you got like, oh right, I'm gonna control the pedals now, which is absolute horseshit behavior, by the way, because if you kind of trust your student to in fact use the pedals now, what is the fucking point in teaching them? And that's what I had a question also. What is the fucking point in teaching me when you're literally just gonna control the car yourself? You might as well drive right and force me to look at your steering and your fucking pedaling, which is absolutely insane, right? And it literally sounds like I'm more likely to fail with you than any other driving instructor I may actually find if I actually looked up myself, right? Which in fact led to her fucking reaching over, grabbing the fucking steering wheel and yanking it so hard to the left, while in fact shouting in my ear. Like, honestly to God, right, she was literally doing this, and then after that, right, I literally told you about the fucking pedaling and shit, but then, like, she told me to pull up onto the right for the, when they got to the final turn, right, where she got, like, where she continued to, in fact, no, make me even more angry, because when I was getting to there, right, you know, it made me even more angry, but also more pissed off. While saying right, that I'm not listening, that I've been a daft bastard, that I've been a cunt, that I'm literally an autistic fat. She literally got like, oh right, like she literally kept on fucking shouting at me, and she, no, on top of this, right, she literally said, like, I'm gonna fail my practical test, which is literally bullshit. When I not even know how to drive much more safely than your dumb ass, but also if I, on top of this, also know how to fucking like drive in general. Like two fucking lessons in, right? You made make me this mad, right? You're more than a red flag. You should not, in fact, be a driving instructor. You should be fucking disqualified from being a driving instructor, and you should be, in fact, taking care of your two children. Because if you cannot be a good enough driving instructor, to the point right that you always worry about that you may be accidentally be killed by your fucking students, that you have to go home to basically right to your two children. You honestly, generally, if you have children, right, you should not even be a driving instructor. That's what I believe in. Like, because basically, right, that will increase the fear in the driving instructor in their future exams. Like, as soon as I have children, boom, just cancel them off. And like, honestly, because like they will not only make more brave driving instructors, but also they'll make a lot more better driving instructors. Like, I feel as if these driving instructors should just turn to theory instructors and just teach theory, because I feel as if that's a better use of their time. Like, they still get paid the same, but they just be teaching theory instead of actually doing practical. Because honestly to God, right, that these people are the most, like, they literally fear the road the most, right? And on top of this, right, they literally just absolute, I mean by absolute fucking, literally put the most fear into the driving, into the student learner. Which is insane. So basically, right, I basically during this argument, she kept on shouting back at me, and I kept on literally, I kept on reflecting back, going like, oh right, it was your fault, it was your fault, it was your fault that you kept on making me mad and mad, right? Which kept on making her slightly even more mad, to the point where she go like, oh yeah, should I just end it now? What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Just end it now, right? Literally the exact same fucking thing she said last fucking week. So what do you do for that, right? This wasn't really gonna go anywhere, right? So I decided to go. So I kept on shifting the blame on her, and then she literally got like, "Yeah, I'm taking you home," uh, which I think she thought I was gonna cry about it, which I wasn't fucking, by the way, right? Which I was firm on my stance of not having a shitty driving instructor that would in fact fucking emotionally torture me. Literally, by emotionally torture, I mean by right that off lessons, she would literally teach me. She would literally talk to me in a fucking nice manner, right? But during the fucking during when I was on the time, she literally treated me like the most horseshit driver known to me. Like, honestly to God, right? She was literally playing with my emotions. So basically, right, we switched driver seats, and we literally driven back home pretty much. I was driven back home, dropped off, and she got like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry it didn't work out." Yeah, you should be fucking sorry. And I told her, yeah, it's on your end. Like, it was on my end, it was on your end. Before we was exiting the car, I wasn't gonna listen to a single second of her bullshit while I was in the car. It was basically a very quiet trip home because honest to God, I wasn't really listening. So yeah, pretty much. Not only if after that, right? Not only if my login for my Four Wheels account has been pretty much cancelled, but also my Total Drive account pretty much got cancelled also with it. So yeah, it doesn't work as well. And so I decided just now just fucking focus on trying to pass the theory, and then from there I just use the 40 hours in order to simply teach myself just so I can practice up to the fucking practical exam. Because honestly to God, right, that if I'm gonna have a fucking dickhead of a teacher that's gonna teach me fucking theory while I'm trying to learn about practical, it ain't gonna work out. It ain't gonna simply work out. Like, teach me one thing or teach me the other. Do not teach me two at the same time, and do not especially fucking shout at me, you rude bastard. So yeah, that's my not with my experience with Four Wheels, but pretty much my experience with that absolute shitty driving instructor. Like, basically what I want to take out of this, right, is number one, find a driving instructor by yourself. Number two, right, find out like their vehicle, what they drive, and like see what assists are on and such, right. And number three, right, see how much they pay and see if they do special ed teaching. And number four, see if they can teach in a calm fucking manner. Because honestly, right, you don't want to be teased by a dickhead who literally always shouts at you and always argues with you and always try to act super professional. But in reality, right, they try to act like a fucking grandpa trying to talk to their grandson in a really cool, slangy manner. She always kept on saying in it in times where it didn't even seem like they were needed for it in it. And like, fucking hell, right, I would literally rather kill myself before you could say another in it. Like, honestly to God, right, like, honestly, like, it felt like absolutely fucking retarded. Like, I love that, right, she tried to be a gangster shit and try to be more relatable, but still though, keep on saying the word in it, and I'm gonna show you what my fist with the word in it literally etched into the fucking individual knuckles are gonna be saying to your fucking face, bro. But apart from that, right, that's the end of the video. Literally just find your own driving instructor, find out if they're chill or despecialized, and go from there. But apart from that, right, that'll be the end of the video. Stay safe.